Michael Mitchell with Madison County Weather Updates. I wanted to do a quick video to talk about the severe potential that we have for tomorrow. The Storm Prediction Center has the entire state of Indiana in an enhanced risk for severe tomorrow. It actually would not surprise me to see maybe some of the northeastern parts of Indiana get bumped up to maybe a moderate risk tomorrow as the setup develops. And I think it might be justified to do so, especially if it looks like we might squeeze some sunshine in. This is not a setup where we need sunshine for severe, but sunshine will be an aggravating factor if it does occur. So, whether we get upgraded or not, that doesn't have any impact on whether the storms occur, but it just wouldn't surprise me if there is an upgrade. Here's a look at the tornado outlook from the SPC, and I did an enlarged version of this. This is something we don't see around here very often. Here's an enlarged version, and we've got Indiana in the northern, probably 2/3 of Indiana, in a 10% risk for tornadoes, and they've added the cross hatching, which means that the probability of a tornado within 25 miles of a given point is what the 10% is, and then the hatched area is a 10% or greater chance of EF2 to EF5 tornadoes within 25 miles of a given point. So that's a pretty high risk. You think about the size of Madison County, the odds are pretty good that there's going to be a tornado within a county or so of us, if not in Madison County. That's a pretty high risk. I would note that from the outbreak on Friday, Indiana, the tornado count is now up to 20. So that was a pretty healthy outbreak on a setup that was really kind of people forgot about a little bit, I think, and didn't really think it was going to produce, and it did. So we can never take these things too seriously. Always avoid taking them too lightly. If nothing happens, then great. If it does, then you're prepared. So beyond the tornado threat, we also have a 30% chance for large hail, and there's actually a cross hatching for it as well. I mean, there's also a 10% or greater probability of hail that's 2 inches in diameter or larger within 25 miles of a given point. So we got a pretty good chance of getting hail and a pretty good chance of getting large hail. And judging from some of what fell tonight near Chicago, I believe they had some 2 to 3 inch hail. There were some of the stones I saw pictures of that looked bigger. And hail may be a real threat tomorrow as well, just as big as tornadoes. And again, the precipitation may not be as widespread tomorrow as it was Friday, but the potential for supercells is much higher. These will be more dangerous storms than what we dealt with the other day, and that got pretty dangerous the other day. And then here's a 30% probability for damaging winds. Again, the entire state is in that. So, and we've had our share of damaging winds. A lot of damage was done in the county Friday from winds without a tornado. Here's a map taking a look at the total updraft helicity from 2 to 5 kilometers. And what this tells you is that there's spin in the storms, and kind of where the model thinks the spin in the storms will be between tonight and tomorrow. So a lot of what's up here in the northwestern part of or up here in Illinois, a lot of this is already occurring today, and then a lot of what happens over here then will come tomorrow. And Madison County's right in here, so we are kind of under the gun. This does not mean that there are going to be tornadoes following those tracks. Those updrafts can fuel large hail just as easily as they can fuel tornadoes. All modes of severe are on the table tomorrow. So, as I always say, don't get locked into the idea of whether the wind is spinning or going in a straight line. It can be just as dangerous either way. But again, the threat for stronger tornadoes is higher than what we normally see tomorrow. So, and the model data I actually think is maybe a little bit underdone. And I think a lot of, if you any of you are looking at like future um, reflectivity on any of the models, I think that they're probably underdone on coverage as well. And what we'll see tomorrow is probably a cluster in the morning that can bring some severe. Then we'll have some pop-ups between that cluster and the front that comes in the evening. And those pop-ups in the afternoon are the ones that I'm the most concerned about as far as producing um, the stronger, longer track tornadoes. And here's a simulated reflectivity, and this is the NAM 3K. And again, this is maybe a little bit underdone in some ways, but it just gives you an idea of what to expect. This is running from about 10 o'clock in the morning with the frontal passage occurring around 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening. So I do kind of agree with the timing, although I do think that maybe we could see some storms popping just after daybreak as well. So it's going to be tomorrow's going to be a so-called nowcast day where you're just waiting to see what happens right now, and if something pops up, then you have to be on top of it. I will be at work tomorrow, but I will be anytime that I have the opportunity. If something is threatening the area, I will go live and cover it. And probably the only time I won't be able to is if something pops up between about 4:30 and 6:30 because I'll be in a Board of Zoning Appeals meeting, but I'll still be trying to watch it and update it. And I'll make sure everybody there knows that I am watching the weather. I'm not being rude. So I will go live if needed tomorrow, and I suspect that there's going to be one or two times that it will be needed. So just stay very weather aware tomorrow, and that's really all we can do. So here's I haven't done one of these graphics in a while. Here's kind of my outlook on the whole thing. And again, it's the Storm Protection Center has us in an enhanced risk for severe. I actually forgot that it's tomorrow afternoon. Um, all modes of severe are possible, including strong tornadoes and large hail. Damaging winds are actually very likely with these storm cells tomorrow. And again, I expect storms to begin to pop a little bit right after daybreak, with the severe threat lasting all day. But the severe threat that I'm the most concerned about is going to be from late morning through early evening. And then again, as I noted, maybe the overall storm coverage may not be as high, but where the cells pop, they'll be a lot more apt to become supercells, rotating supercells that are tornado producers. And again, they could be producing some strong tornadoes. And I think at last count, there may be more now, but at last count, I think Indiana had three, or I had four, maybe five EF3 tornadoes Friday. And this is a lot more energetic setup. So it's a threat we maybe haven't seen. And I can't remember the last big outbreak we had, 2013-ish or something. I can't even remember now. I should have looked that up. This has the potential to be one of our bigger outbreaks in a while anyway. So again, stay very weather aware tomorrow. I've got to kind of concur with most of the guidance. The tornado risk is medium to high, and the high wind risk is very high. The hail risk of 1 inch or greater is probably right in the upper end of medium to lower high. And then heavy rain, kind of a medium risk. The heavier rain will be more localized. You get under a cell that's really uh, getting ready to collapse is usually when the heavier downpours are going to happen. That's also when the microbursts and straight line winds will occur. So um, a lot of times you'll see this sudden burst of rainfall, the downburst of cold air that spreads out, does a lot of damage. That's probably where the heaviest rainfall is going to be tomorrow. I think widespread we can expect a half an inch to maybe an inch, but some people get under the wrong cell. It could be a lot worse on the rainfall as well. So I've dragged this on for about 10 minutes or so. I'll go ahead and cut this off. Again, I'll go live tomorrow if necessary. I do want to thank those of you who support this page financially and help me keep this thing going. Thank you to the handful that donated after the live the other night. I very much appreciate that. Thank you to our sponsors, Community Hospital, Madison County Federal Credit Union, the Grandfather Clock in the background, Waitman Realty, Anderson Symphony Orchestra, Joy Mitchell Cincy, Uranus Fudge out on 53rd Street. If you haven't been there, get past the name and just go out and get you some ice cream or fudge. It's awesome. Go in there, plug your ears, get your snacks, and get out of there. Trust me, the taste, it is awesome. And then we've also got Glampers and that, and I actually can't even see that smaller one, that other one. I should know it off the top of my head. But thank you to all of our sponsors. Thank you to those of you who have donated or are sponsors. Patreon and all that. There's at the head of each of the pages where you can donate, the ways you can donate. Please do so. Um, Here's also a look at them. You know, you can donate on the Madco Weather site and Patreon, PayPal, Zelle, Cash App, Venmo. If you know me personally, you can go to my personal page and do it through Facebook Pay and Messenger if you wish. But thank you to those who support the page. If you ever had any inkling to do so, hopefully, coverage that you're getting, the hyper-local coverage that you're getting during these outbreaks, will motivate you to want to support the page as well. And so that's all I'm going to blab on about. This is Michael Mitchell with Madison County Weather Updates. Pray for the best tomorrow, but I'll keep you up to date if the worst happens. Thank you.